You're watching Football Daily, and here are this week's biggest transfer news and headlines. Football may have stopped, but the rumour mill is spinning as fast as ever, so unsurprisingly, there are endless reports and gossip flying around about players switching clubs this summer. Remember, if you have any hot leads or inside gossip, you can tweet me at Joe Tomlinson or the Football Daily account with the hashtag TransferTalk. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do so with notifications turned on so you never miss another FD video. Trust me, you will not regret it. There's only one place to start though, with Tottenham Hotspur having stuttered their way through this Premier League campaign. Talks of Harry Kane's future are starting to bubble away. And on a recent Instagram live stream, the England captain dropped his biggest hint yet that he could well be saying see you later to Spurs this summer. Chatting to Jamie Redknapp, Kane also spoke about how the Lily Whites initially rejected him as an 11-year-old and how he's almost back to full fitness after tearing his hamstring tendon back in January, which is great news for Spurs fans, provided the season does resume. But they won't be happy to hear what he had to say next. Kane said, "I love Spurs, I'll always love Spurs, but I've always said if I don't feel we're progressing as a team or going in the right direction, I'm not someone to stay here just for the sake of it. So it's not a definite I'm going to stay there forever, but it's also not a no either." And considering Mourinho's side have won just one of their last 7 games and are currently looking like they could well miss out on Champions League football for the first time in 5 years, the next few months will provide a big test of his loyalty. Despite injuries wearing down the striker over the last few years, Kane is surely still valued at over £100 million though, and with a contract running until 2024, it's going to be incredibly difficult to get him out of North London. But who do you think could do with his services the most? Let us know in the comments below. Next up, we have another English star, but this time it's one who could have scuppered his chances of a move this summer, according to reports. Yes, that's right, Jack Grealish has been one of the standout players in the Premier League this season, scoring 7 and assisting 6 for relegation battlers Aston Villa, leading the Villains squad in both fields. His great form has earned him the interest of Manchester United, who may well be in the market for another attacking mid should Paul Pogba leave. And reports had linked him with a £70 million move to Old Trafford. In fact, the Red Devils are long-term admirers of Grealish, having tried to land him all the way back when he signed his first pro contract at 17. But last week, Grealish was forced to release an apology video after crashing his car after going to visit a friend when we're all supposed to be under lockdown in the UK. This resulted in him being fined £150,000 by his club. Now, reports varied on what this meant for his move to United, with some saying it could have put a big dent in his hopes, as the fee could well be so large that the top brass have some questions. Others, though, are saying it makes little difference to United, who still see him as a squad leader. But what do you guys think? Has this ruined his chances of a move? I want to hear from you. Sticking with United for the moment, as it appears they may well be moving for yet another centre-back this summer, according to reports. The Red Devils, of course, broke the bank to sign Harry Maguire back in 2019, but this summer, a right winger and midfielder should surely be the priorities. However, according to The Independent and some other sources, it has to be said, Matthijs de Ligt could well be the subject of a pursuit come June. A move for the young Dutch defender could be made a whole lot easier, in fairness, should Paul Pogba move in the other direction. The former Ajax captain has had a pretty decent first season in Serie A, clocking up nearly 30 appearances in all competitions for Juve before the campaign grinded to a halt. But he has been far from a sure starter of late, being benched for Daniele Rugani and the returning Giorgio Chiellini. And United, who kept tabs on the 20-year-old before his move to Italy last year, are now said to be monitoring the situation. To be honest, we're extremely sceptical about this move. De Ligt still has a much better chance of winning silverware in Turin, and his €150 million release clause doesn't become active until 2022, according to various reports. Unless something dramatic happens, there's no chance he's leaving the old lady right now. Over to Madrid now, where James Rodriguez is seemingly edging closer to the exit door of the Bernabeu. The Colombian playmaker has never been one of Zinedine Zidane's favourites and has struggled to get any game time since returning from his 2-year loan at Bayern Munich last summer. James has played less than 500 minutes in all comps and amazingly hasn't started more than 20 league games in a single campaign since 14-15, despite his unquestioned ability in the final third. But with his contract up in 2021, Real need to cash in on him this summer, and the Premier League looks like a fairly likely destination. He may turn 29 this year and command big wages, but the prospect of a cut price fee makes him an attractive option for clubs in need of a proven creator. According to multiple sources, Arsenal, Everton and Wolves are all interested in his services. With Mesut Ozil's performances dropping off over the last 12 months, it would sort of make sense for the Gunners to seek out a replacement for the German, whose contract is also up in 2021. As for Wolves, any move for a Jorge Mendes client is always a possibility, let's face it, while the prospect of linking back up with Carlo Ancelotti, this time at Everton, would no doubt be of interest to James, who market claim is most keen for a move to Goodison. After all, let's face it, his best season in Madrid came under the Italian coach, and the pair also came close to reuniting at Napoli last summer. But where would you go if you were James? Arsenal, Everton or Wolves? Let us know in the poll above. Sticking in Spain now, as it appears another La Liga star is attracting the interest of Premier League clubs. That's because Mundo Deportivo reported this week that Samuel Umtiti could be on his way to either Arsenal or Chelsea this summer. According to the Barcelona-based news outlet, the Blues boss Frank Lampard would have pursued the French defender last year had the club not been chained by UEFA's transfer ban, and they have apparently been in contract with his agent Arturo Canales about a potential move this window. Meanwhile, Arsenal have hot prospect Willy Saliba returning this summer, but are still said to be monitoring Umtiti's situation at the Camp Nou. The World Cup winner is still under contract until 2023, but injuries continue to dog him in the early part of this season, and he has been in and out of the team since then. Still valued at over 40 million euros, Umtiti will still be a significant investment for either club. But with Arsenal in particular in need of centre-back reinforcement, he's far from the worst option at still only 26 years old. We finish off with a player who could and probably will leave the Premier League come the end of this season, whenever that may be. According to Calcio Mercato, Xherdan Shaqiri is set to exit Liverpool in the summer with both Sevilla and Roma after the 28-year-old signature. Shaqiri is under contract at Anfield until 2023, and the Reds are understood to want a fee in the region of £18 million for the Swiss international, which would represent a profit of the $13 million they paid Stoke for him in 2018. Meanwhile, he has made just 2 starts in the Prem this term, meaning his first team football must be a priority for the former Bayern player. Both the Spanish and Italian clubs interested have done a lot of business over the past 12 months, and Roma in particular are said to favour a loan move for Shaqiri, having already completed 3 permanent deals in 2020. So that's it for this week's episode of Transfer Talk. If you enjoyed it, make sure you hit the like button and hit subscribe. There's loads more content going on over on Euro Football Daily, so stay tuned, stay safe, stay indoors, you know the score. Thanks very much for watching, goodbye.